Hi, our proud YouTube watching fellow American patriots. We're back. We are true conservative Asian voice in America. Today we want to share with you in this video clip how wonderful it was to see Mr. Shin of South Korea, the owner of Lotte Corporation, coming over to the White House to have a meeting with President Donald Trump to announce to the whole world and to him that Lotte Corporation decided to move its manufacturing operation to the United States. He came over to have an advice, get an advice from President Trump, and President Trump told him, hey, right now, Moon Jae-In of South Korea, he is just he's destroying every corporate in South Korea. He destroyed so many major corporates in South Korea. He robbed the Korean Airlines owner, Mr. Jo. He snatched Mr. Cho's business and got money out of that and shipped all that money over to North Korea. And he recently tried to hit Samsung, Mr. Lee, the owner of Samsung Corporation. And in South Korea, Moon Jae-In is hitting all the major corporates with 25–30% tax, business tax. So President Trump gave Mr. Shin of Lotte Corporation, and if you move your operations, all your manufacturing business over here in the United States, you'll be taxed at only 10% or maybe lower. And he gave him a choice. And obviously, the choice President Donald Trump gave him was much more lucrative, much more beneficial for him and for his corporate. So Mr. Shin of Lotte Corporation decided to move. He already bought a hotel in Louisiana and New York. And he created about, I heard, close to 2,500 new jobs. President Trump, when you go to South Korea in the end of June, why don't you talk to more corporate owners in South Korea and give them some good incentive to move their business, their corporates over here in the United States before Moon Jae-In comes down with a machete and chops up their heads and destroys their business, their corporate business. That's what Moon Jae-In is doing. He has done nothing but destroying South Korean economy in past 2 years of his administration. Ever since he stepped into the Blue House, the White House, South Korean version of White House, he has done nothing but to destroy South Korean economy. By executing all these nonsensical, stupid economic policies, such as raising up minimum pay up to $10 an hour, which is considerably much higher than what Japanese labor force people are receiving. After Moon Jae-in began executing his stupid economic policies in South Korea, so many small business owners, they filed bankruptcy, and they had to shake dirt off their heads. They just lost everything. They had to wash their hands out of their business, and they filed bankruptcy because of Moon Jae-in's stupid economic policies, which resembles socialist ideology, economic policy. He must have learned that socialist economic policies from Kim Jong-Un. And robbing people with the high property taxes, high income taxes, and bundle up all the cash he got from people in forms of taxes. And then he ships them all up to North Korea. That's why recently North Korea is experiencing price plunge of their rice and gasoline, while people in South Korea are suffering with the rising rice price and gasoline price. Gasoline price recently went up by like 45%, I heard. 45%. And there are people in South Korean streets, even in capital, Seoul of South Korea, the capital city of South Korea. So to run away from Moon Jae-in's brutal and failing economic policy, destroying and dismantling just about every major corporates in South Korea, like LG, Samsung, SK, and many other corporates. Mr. Shin of Lotte Corporation, he decided to escape to the United States, where he can enjoy way lower business income tax, and he can contribute to the success of his business, his corporate, by simply moving to the United States. So Mr. Shin, we think Mr. Shin made very wise choice. Whether to stay in South Korea and suffer through the stupid administration of stupid economic policies that Moon Jae-in is executing in South Korea, or to come over to the United States and enjoy the freedom with which he can expand his business and get richer while enjoying way lower business tax. Who would who would not take that invitation? So we think Mr. Shin's move to the United States of all his business operations to Louisiana and New York is the beginning of the total collapse of South Korean economy. I bet you we already foresee what's coming in near future. In third year of his presidency, the South Korean economy will collapse, will start collapsing. And all major corporations and business will leave South Korea. That's already happening. Samsung opened up new factories to make smartphones in Vietnam. They already built 2 factories in Vietnam. And SK, they are moving to other countries too. And as we already know, Hyundai and Kia, they have bailed out to China and here in the United States. Kia cars are big number of Kia cars are manufactured and made in the United States already. And the number will increase very quickly, starting in the near future. So many major corporate owners will follow the footsteps of Mr. Shin, the owner of Lotte Corporation. Congratulations, Mr. Shin. You made the right decision at the right time to bail out, to escape from that brutal dictatorship-like economic policies executed by MOONkey Jae-In. The monkey MOONkey Jae-In of South Korea, who has no business concept, understanding of any business concepts. He doesn't know how to operate, how to run a country. That's why he is destroying every corporation in South Korea and taking all their money and shipping over up to North Korea to appease Kim Jong-Un, the big fat ugly swine of North Korea. So right now, we would like to talk to the owners of all major corporations in South Korea. If you have eyes and brain to think, look at the examples Mr. Shin set before your eyes, before your very eyes. Follow his footsteps. Gather up all your operations and business in South Korea and leave South Korea and move to the United States. We Americans will treat you. We will treat you in honorable manner. We guarantee that you will have total freedom to expand your business, and you will get much, much richer if you move to the United States. That's our guarantee. You'll be selling your products with the labels that says, made in the USA. Made in the USA. Not in the South Korea. South Korean economy is run by all these North Korean Jusapa communist laborers who are inspired by Kim Il-sung's ideology and Moon Jae-in's stupid economic ideology and policies. the downfall, the total collapse of South Korean economy is coming very soon. If our President Donald Trump decides to put secondary boycott on the South Korean economy for smuggling all these charcoals and iron ore from North Korea and pumping them into South Korean economy and shipping, smuggling all these tons of millions of gallons of gasoline up to North Korea. If President Trump stops, if he decides that's it, that's the end of my patience, and puts secondary boycott against South Korean economy, that will be it. That will be the day that South Korea will go down the black hole, go down the drain, just because Moon Jae-In, his stupid economic policies. And we will hate to see South Korean people going down the tube, going down the drain along with them, just because his stupidity. And just because South Korean people, they were deceived and they foolishly elected Moon Jae-In as their president. That's the consequences, the mistake they committed in 2017. Very sad. It will be very sad to see all South Korean people going down the drain along with Moon Jae-In. Just because of one stupid monkey's mistake and wrong decision, so many South Koreans will suffer. But that's how the world works. That's the end of South Korea. How unfortunate, how sad.